Floyd with Pearls of Wisdom for today. And my scripture is found in Genesis 39 through 40. And I'm going to tell the story about Joseph and all his trials. But, you know, they were not trials. God was working in his life. And Joseph was the son of Jacob, and he was the favored son. And his brothers were very jealous of him, and while he was out tending to the sheep, his jealous brothers put him in a pit. And when Reuben, the one brother that didn't want anything to happen to him, the other brothers sold him to the Ishmaelites, or the Midianites. They were the same group, and they took him off, and then they sold him to Potiphar in Egypt. And so that's where the story takes place, that Joseph is in Egypt, as I believe it's a 17-year-old boy. And he is in Egypt, and he is working for Potiphar. And God gives him favor with Potiphar, and he is taking care of Potiphar's house. And all of a sudden, Potiphar's wife looks at him because he's a very handsome young man. And she becomes very enamored with him, and she tries to get him to do things that he said, "No, I'm not interested in you." So she tells a lie on him, and he gets put in jail. Well, while he's in jail, again, God's favor on him, and he rises to the top, and the jailer makes him in charge of the jail. And he's in charge of all the jailers, and he takes care of everything that's there. And again, while he's in jail, he has this bit of, they can trust him. He is trustworthy. He doesn't steal anything. He's can be put in charge of stuff. They don't ever have to check behind him. They know that if they give him a job, that he's going to do it. He's going to do it correctly, that he's going to be honest. He's not going to steal from them. He's going to do everything right. So they don't even check behind him. They give him the job, and he's there. No, a lot of Christians are not that same way. We need to be honest. When we work for somebody or we work for ourselves, we need to be honest in everything we do. I know my father had bought an old schoolhouse, and we had pulled it over on our property, and he hadn't had a chance to lock it up. And when he went back to get all of the lumber and things that were with it, it had been stolen. And one of the neighbors told him that some of the good Christian people in the community had come and stole the lumber off of it. And he was quite upset. Not being a Christian, that did not set well with him, and that did not speak well of the Christian community. So we as Christians, we really need to go out of our way to be honest in all of our dealings and be upright in whatever we do. If something's laying there and it doesn't belong to you, don't touch it. It's not yours. Or if you can find who the owner is, find the owner, but don't be picking up something that doesn't belong to you. Anyway, Joseph was very honest in everything that he did. And he was in the prison, and while he was in there, the chief baker and the chief butler had made Potiphar mad, and they were thrown in the prison. And while they were in there, they had had a dream, and they were asking anybody to interpret their dream. Well, Joseph interpreted their dream, and the dream came true. He said that the butler would be, in 3 days, he would be set free and have his old job back. In 3 days, the baker would be killed, and that's exactly what happened. But you know what? He said to the butler, please remember me when you get out. But the butler forgot him. And it was 13 years from the time that he got in Pharaoh's, in Egypt, from this day that he was in this prison. 13 years. Now, how many of us would have been able to say, hey, I've been here 13 years. We'd be griping and complaining. But he didn't gripe. He didn't complain. He went about his job. We need to know that God has everything under control, and God had him under control. And we need to be like Joseph and know that God has things under control. Even though it was 13 years, he rose to the top, he took care of things, and he was happy wherever he was. And we need to be just like Joseph, knowing that God has things under control, be honest in everything that we do, and do it well. Let's know that God has our area under control. God's got us under control if we will give ourselves to him and trust him in all we do. This is Donna Floyd with Pearls of Wisdom.